back here. Start over. Sure. Sure is share. I'm gonna share to a couple pages this week. I always talk love solutions. Let's talk save the world. I've been thinking about a lot of things. Put this on this page, and I'll put it on this page. It's time we go ahead and fix the world, I think. Boom. Doo-doo-doo. So we're gonna put it on in-planned obsolescence. That's a great page. We're gonna put it on. What the hell is Ty doing up this early? Good morning, Ty. Good morning, heaven. Ty, what the hell are you doing up this early? You didn't go to sleep, did you? Ty didn't go to sleep. Ty didn't sleep, y'all. Ty is a vampire. I tell you, listen to me. In-planned obsolescence. We're gonna put this on Free the World Network page. I don't know why y'all make me admin of these pages, but I'm gonna share it to them when I think the topic is relevant. And I think the only conflict that we need to focus on is conflict itself. That's it. That's it. I don't know how I come up with these topics, but I'm gonna run. Let me see. Occupy resources. Yes, we need to occupy the world's resources. We're gonna share that their page. We need to, other pages here, save the world. Don't be a foolish tribal person. I had to pick my words carefully. Operation Urban Farming. Yes, we're gonna share that on Operation Urban Farming. This is what this is about. You can't do any urban farming because of this. You can't do any urban farming because people are in conflict. We robbed the entire world, and I think Satan meant it for evil, but I think God meant it for good. That's a scripture. You can do what you will with that. We're gonna share it on the Green News Network because they're actually green. Their Green New Deal doesn't involve drones and blown up nations. We're gonna share this on one more page, but it's Green Fire. If y'all don't follow Green Fire, y'all need to follow sis on Green Fire. Put that down here. Ty, actually, you're the blame for this. The Green Fire review. Ty's to blame. Because I can't look at the politics. I can't do it. I needed confirmation that they were lying again. That's all. I just needed confirmation. And I was good to go. That's all I need. I knew they were lying. I just had, I don't have the patience anymore. I limit what I let in my mental Rolodex. And I'm not interested in killers and liars and robbers and thieves. We need to move on with the world. We need to evolve and become something better. We need to study war no more. I proceeded to think this morning. Oh, it's just so much. It's so much. I don't even know where to start. Let me get the comments going. All right, let me see. Should be ready with YouTube. YouTube actually works. The comments actually work. Facebook's good enough. What's the title? We are the Coz. We are the Coz. That's why you need to get a cause. Get a cause, because we are the Coz. The hell am I talking about? We are the Coz. Know who the Coz is? Oh, y'all gonna be mad at me. We are the Coz, but don't blame the messenger. Blame the message. We are the Coz. Yes, we are the Coz. We are the Coz. We are the Coz. I was thinking about it because you know what? Somebody posted. Oh, I'm already talking. I'm not supposed to talk. We are the Coz. We're the Coz. We're the Coz. We accept the facts. Accept the reality. This is the world we live in. The only way you change it is you have to accept the actual truth. I think this is the comments down here. We are so the Coz. We are constantly trying to slip people jelly pudding pops. Trying to slip lies and Mickey Fins. Oh, I'm gonna look at Mickey Finn. Did y'all know where Mickey's came from? I know. I see my timelines full of people trying to slip me Mickeys. I am not drinking. I'm sorry. I appreciate everybody who stirred my Kool-Aid back when I was drinking the Kool-Aid. Thank you. Then you can see, because now I see the poison. When you stir the Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, because it's carcinogen, sugar, and everything, that's another poison. But when you see that Mickey Finn layer swirling around, all the lies, as Ty says, all the lies, that Mickey Finn in your drink. Well, that's where slipping and Mickey came from. We constantly slip each other Mickeys, and we blame other people who slip Mickeys to other people. But you don't slip it in the drink like Cosby does, or put it in some Jello pudding pots or whatever the hell he did. We slip it in your intellect. We slip it in your timeline. We slip it in you. And then we slip it in you. Because that's the real story. That is the real story. All right. I was on Trump this morning. Not on him. It's just watching my friends confirm that the Democrats out there lying again, that they're any different than the Republicans. Why do those people act like they're such nice people? Why do they do that? You're not nice people. Stop it. Stop lying to yourself. Stop it. You're not the good guy. You are not goody two-shoes. Why do they try to pretend you are the Republican? You're the same party. You work for the same people in industry. Stop trying to pretend like you're the good guys. You're not the good guys. All right. For the comments. Let me get the comments in. We are Cosby. We are Bill Cosby. We are so Bill Cosby as a society. We slip the whole world Mickeys and we pretend. We go after the Bill Cosbys because it makes us feel good about ourselves, and the rest of the world is like, what the hell are y'all doing? Let me see where my comments at. That's not my comments. Where my comments? Where my comments? Boom, 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 boom. Anybody upset yet? No, that's not. I gotta make a new one. Dang it. All right, I can do that. I can do that. I'm getting better at this workaround. All right. Good morning. Anybody slipping you Mickeys this morning? Anybody slipping Mickeys trying to get you to go vote for somebody that wants to go slip things in other people, other societies, other nations, topple nations, do all the dastardly things Bill Cosby did? Jello pudding pops. Almost Kevin Spacey and all the rest of them, the psychopathic murderers and killers. But the Kool-Aid has so many fun flavors. That the Kool-Aid does have fun flavors, doesn't it? Because that's why it's fun to people. You got the Kamala flavor, you got the Trump flavor, you got the Biden flavor, you got all the flavors. We always slipping Mickeys. We slip them Mickeys. Watch your drink. Watch your drink. What could I mean by that? What could be the analogy of watch your drink? Let me find the YouTube comments. Watch your drink in this world. Put your joy where people can't find it. Put your intellect in places where the Mickey can't get in. You gotta go to the bathroom, cover your drink, take it with you. Take it with you because they're lying. They're lying. The rest of the world is like, why is America still doing this? So I want to ask a question. I asked a question this morning on my timeline. Hang on, let me bring the YouTube comments and we'll get into the fray. See if y'all can tell me why Donald Trump need to be out. I want him to win again. I do. I'm sorry. I admit it. No, actually, that's not really what I want. I want freedom and democracy and leave everybody the hell aloneism. But the only way that's going to happen, well, he is going to win again. But more importantly, when he wins, you need some change to occur. And I'm not a political person, but I mean, what would happen if no Democrats voted? What would happen if like all the Democrats got a heart? Because the Republicans, they gonna vote. They believe that he's gonna make America great again. But what would happen if the Democrats just didn't show up? They didn't care. What would happen? I think they change. I don't know if that would help, but I think if the Rothschilds we don't run this thing, if the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, whoever runs these political parties, if they saw that you don't believe anymore, they're going to make changes to get you believing again. And, you know, power concedes only things by demand, and so you got to demand it. I don't believe in violent demands and revolutions, and that's the default. Remember, we don't get our act together, that revolution is coming. I still got a lot of revolution friends. Oh my goodness, they can't wait for a revolution. I have no idea why, but that's the default in the human race. We either grow the hell up, or that revolution gonna come. No, but I kind of think, maybe, because, you know, from a politic perspective, like what if two Democrats actually voted in the election? Two Democrats, what if, I don't know, Bernie voted for himself and Biden voted for Bernie? Like, what if nobody voted? What if everybody got sick of slipping the world Mickeys? Mickey Fins. What if everybody got sick of lying to rob and steal and destroy nations? I asked the question this morning. I said, what? Because I guess they were talking impeachment. I think that's what Ty said, that was one of the things that they were talking to impeach Trump. I was like, why? Why? Somebody tell me why. Let me go to my thread right now. I want to know why. Why? What has this man done that you didn't do? What? Let me go down my thread, see if I can find somebody that's got a statement. What the hell has Donald Trump done that the Democrats and Republicans together didn't write laws to do? Or did? I don't think anybody answered. People get quiet when they know you read the laws, because they don't read the laws. Most people, they just read the headlines. They like they're headliners, like, oh, that law is called free the people. Yay! Well, free the people. And you read the law and it's just like allocating money to companies, steel companies making chains. That's what broke my world. It broke my world when I started reading the laws. It broke my world. People started asking me tough questions because I didn't read the laws. I watched the news. And I was like, I don't like looking stupid. I started reading the laws. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, what are these? And then all the whistleblowers started coming. I think the world works its way for a reason, though. Don't be upset. I know you want to click that off button. I know if you want to click the don't watch button, then you might be waking up. If you just have to click it, you need to click it and go. You don't want to watch this. You need your indoctrination intact. We don't want you blue screening. If you're debating whether or not to leave here, I'm going to encourage you. There's a lot of people here who know what the hell is going on in this world. It's a lot of people. And that reminds me, there was a good quote by Nelson Mandela. Let me see if I can find that. A lot of people who actually know what's going on in this world. And you want to listen to them. And it's funny, but I forgot, I'm not going to go to the quote. But I posted on my page, so you can go read it if you want. There was something to the effect of the more you start to realize what's happening in the world and how the world actually works, the less outraged you are. Why do I laugh all the time with my friends? Why are we over here? We're always laughing and you think the world is ending. Well, one, because the world isn't actually ending. And two, the more you start to realize what actually runs this world, you realize the less power you have and you're less interested in outrage over silly, stupid stuff. You live in the United States. We always slipping Mickeys in everybody's drink. We slip Mickeys in Venezuela. We slip Mickeys in Africa, all over Latin America. We're slipping Mickeys right now in Iran. Why? Because we want a war. And what happens in a war is rape. What did Bill Cosby do? Rape? Did Bill Cosby rape an entire nation? Did Bill Cosby rape entire towns? No, he didn't. Bill Cosby became exactly what we are. We are apathetic Bill Cosby Cosers. I'm gonna go back to the rest of the description. Hold on, wait. I gotta read my description because I don't know what I was thinking at the time. I'm saying we are the cause, so you need to get a real cause. A real cause. There's the only real conflict that's worth the damn, that's worth 5 minutes of your time is ending human conflict. That's it. There's nothing more important. There is nothing interesting to vote over. There's no topic of any significance. There's none of it. None of it's popular. None of it. The only thing that we have to do is end human conflict. How do you do that? Through no more secrets in government and corporations, because that's their Mickey. And you keep voting for it. Slipping Mickeys to people, giving people half the information so you can go get what you want from them. It's not a psychoactive drug, but it's a psychotic drug. It's a psychotic drug called apathy. Half information, half truths and lies, which made up the whole Democratic, the whole Democratic non-debate. They are literally debating. D-B-A-I-T. I can spell, damn it. Bait. You're the bait. They're Bill Cosby, and they want to go slip something in another nation. They want to rob them, loot them, and get whatever they can. Stop drinking. Stop drinking. Look at the Kool-Aid and look at the layer. There's a Mickey Finn layer. Mickey Finn. So this is where it's called. It's called slipping a Mickey. And I was looking at it on, I mean, y'all might know this. I don't know. This is news to me. And I don't know how this came about. I think I was watching that man video. You see the man video where if men were women and they had the guys going around and the women were grabbing his butt. And he's like, oh, and he like didn't get the promotion. But they had a scene in there, if you watched it, where he sat down. It was awesome. It was, oh man, I can't tell you. Because, and I know, and like, I'm always fighting for the ladies because that's what I'm supposed to do as a man. It's the only reason I have a brain and I have muscles is to defend women and children. That's why, and the older. That's why men are strong. Not to defend yourself. Nope. That's not why you have muscles. That's not why you're strong. You are strong because you're supposed to be defending those who don't have strength in those areas. That's why. And some women are a hell of a lot smarter than y'all, and they're supposed to defend you with their intelligence. We're not supposed to be in conflict at all. But it's good, and it's as progressive, I think my mind is in that area about the patriarchal and the matriarchal society. I still needed to see that video. I needed to see the video because I needed to feel just the creepiness of what it's like to be a woman in a patriarchal society. And it's insane, and I still can't feel it, but it enlightened me even a little more. So there was a bar scene where the men went and sat down, and he got up to go use the bathroom. And he twice said, hey dude, yo, wash my drink, man, I gotta go. And of course there was this lady over there, and she wanted to put a Mickey in his drink. We need to wake the hell up. So, but there's something called a Mickey Finn, and I didn't know it was Mickey Finn. He was the one, I guess he was the one who was slipping Mickeys to people and raping them or something. America, stop slipping people Mickey Finns. Democrats and Republicans, cut it out. I think it was, let me see, Mickey Finn. Oh man, you can't ever trust, oh my goodness. Oh, he looked crazy too. Hold on, let me see if I can show you this. That dude looked like a lunatic. Mickey Finn. This is where it came from, I guess. I think I can hit that. You can see it right there. No, all right. We gotta close Bill out. Hold on. Bill is in the way. All right, Bill, go away. Go away. I know you nasty little nasty butt, but as nasty as his butt is, we are a hell of a lot nastier. As a nation and political party, we are a hell of a lot freakier and dirtier than Bill Cosby. All right. So what I gotta do is hang on. Bear with me one moment. I'm gonna give you a view of what I'm trying to see. We need to know who Mickey Finn is because we are the Mickey Finn. We've always been the Mickey Finn. This is what I think. So I know how y'all get every time people, I'm talking about scripture. Just bear with me. My goodness. We're trying to fix the world, and you gotta go from a perspective of what people believe in. Here we go, right here, Mickey Finn. I don't know if you can see this. Slipping the world Mickeys. All right, if you can read it. I can read it. I don't know if you can. But in slang, Mickey Finn, or simply a Mickey. My head back in the thing, there we go. Is a drink laced with a psychoactive drug, incapacitating agent given to someone without their knowledge. It is a political debate. It is lying about half the truth. It's lying pretending that Donald Trump is doing something that your group didn't do. Is lying and pretending that he has powers he shouldn't have because your group shouldn't have it. And this is not pro Donald Trump, so don't get me, let's keep it real. I think the Democrats and the Republicans hate that man because that man is breaking up their war slavery toys. That's what I think. That's why they're upset. They like slipping Mickeys to the public. They like getting you on this side and that side and screwing you in the middle, keeping you slaves, starting war, and slipping it to other nations too. Only reason they hate that man is because that man is not slick as they are. That's the only reason they hate him. And the Republicans and the Democrats, they can't stand it because he's out for himself and he's trying to use their war toys for his wealth. And every day, and so things are slipping out the cracks. And people who are Tubmans like me, Harriet Tubmans, who want freedom, want to be left the hell alone, we start to see through the cracks. And unfortunately, a lot of us are starting to get a little bit of voice. Harriet Tubmans. You know, my phrase of the day is if Harriet Tubman was alive today and she'd be smacking you upside your head, you need to change something. All right. All that man is, he's trying to use their slavery and war toys, and he just doesn't know that he's got to keep the password secret. That's all. That's it. That's it. All right. So Mickey Finn slipping psychoactive lying. Lying is a psychoactive drug. They slip it into your intellect. You watch CNN, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, and they get you incapacitated. You don't have the intellectual ability. You don't read the laws. They lie about the names because they want to slip somebody a Mickey and rob them and get what they want, and you go along with it. Given to someone without their knowledge, but you should know by now. You should know by now. That's a song. That might be a song. Intent to incapacitate them. Incapacitating nations, destabilizing, incapacitating your intellect. Do you see what I'm going? Do you see where this analogy is heading? That we are literally the Coz. Serving somebody a Mickey is the most commonly referred to as slipping someone a Mickey. Or slipping someone a lying political party. All right. Hang on. Wait. Let me get rid of that. Slipping a Mickey. It's a thing. We need to stop slipping a Mickey. We need to be bonobos. Now, we're talking about that on the thread again this morning. So this is what I think. I think Satan meant it for evil and God meant it for good. That's what I think. That's the scripture. What does that mean? That means we robbed, invaded, destroyed, colonized, murdered, enslaved, and eviscerated the world. Satan meant that stuff for evil. All the colonizers gave all the people the colonizing mindsets, the white people, the black people, Native American people, all the people who are selling out, becoming colonizers, happy, slipping Mickeys to the world, robbing them. And I think it happened for a reason. I think God meant it for good. We are the first generation to actually take all the stolen goods, the stolen minerals, the stolen wealth, all the people who died and were murdered, enslaved and raped and shoved in holes, all the women who were abused, everybody died so that we could be the first generation to fix the world. We can fix the world. We got automation. We can fix the world. We can fix the world any day we want. We can get rid of artificial scarcity, planned obsolescence. We can feed everybody. We can grow food. You know what I found out this morning? Damn it. Hashtag I'm calling fake news on lettuce. Hashtag lettuce is a cold crop. Fake news. Fake news. I got pictures. I'll post them later. This is like the third year in a row I'm growing my lettuce in 90-degree weather, and lettuce don't give a damn. Lettuce don't give a damn. Why? Because I'm growing in aquaponics. Lettuce don't give a damn about your climate. Lettuce want to grow. We can eat lettuce year round. We can grow. One person can grow 1 million heads of lettuce. One robot can grow 80 million heads of lettuce easily. All lettuce wants is the water. If the lettuce has the water, because I'm growing lettuce in a tray, I'll call it hugelkultur. It's not really hugelkultur, but it's based in the philosophies of hugelkultur, which is based in the philosophies of aquaponics. As long as lettuce has access to water, it doesn't give two damns about your 90 degrees. Hashtag fake news on lettuce being a cold crop is not. That's dumb humans telling lettuce what it's supposed to be. All right, now I grew a lot of different types of lettuce to prove this. Right now, this year is Mucilix. All the lettuce is thriving right now. Don't make me post a picture. I will post a picture. I'll post a picture. Fake news. We can feed the world. Let's feed the world. Let's stop playing games. Stop drinking the Mickey. Line up with these people right here that are stirring the Kool-Aid. I want y'all to post. I want my friends, y'all who waking up, post the people who you're supposed to follow. And follow is not really a thing. That's a stupid word. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. Don't follow nobody. That's a lie. That's a lie long as day long. You shouldn't be following anybody. You got to press the follow button, but don't follow them. But the people you should be listening to that have communities of people who are saying truthful things, that aren't trying to slip you a Mickey, but are trying to actually fix things in this world, damn sure ain't the Democratic Party. All right, damn sure ain't the Republican Party neither. You need to follow people like Deb Della Pinella. Need to follow her. Shut the F up. Why? Because she's telling you to shut the F up. You need to follow Ty Neftali, explaining to you what the real effing news is. All right? You need to follow people who ain't picking teams. You need to follow people like Chris Lewis. You need to follow Claudia. You need to follow people who are saying truthful things, ain't trying to slip your intellect to Mickey so they can go rape somebody. And you need to stop supporting Rape the Dance Cell. Stop raping the world. Stop raping nations. Raping Venezuela. Raping Yemen. I know I'm a little upset. I'm a calm down. I'm sorry. It's stupid to me. Like, we can fix everything. We can become bonobos with abundance, you know. And for new people, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look up chimp versus bonobo, right? We are the same damn creature. In abundance, we become peaceful, we become loving. When we have everything we need, we're fine. We evolve into amazing creatures. But when we don't, when we don't have what we need, whether we're parents or preachers or pastors or ministers or whatever you want to call, whatever you think is nice, leaders, we become psychopath chimps. It's time to bring the bonobos out. It's time to go back to being bonobos. It's time to make the world great again. Stop voting to slip Mickeys to other people. You're not a killer. You're not an abuser. You're not a rapist. At the heart and core of you is a beautiful creature. Don't ever cheer to have something done to somebody else that you don't want done to you. Don't keep voting for your party to slip people Mickeys. Stop drugging people with psychoactive blind news because they want to hurt them. That's not you. That's not you. All right, we'll go to comments. We're going to do comments and roll through. Dang it, I'm late as hell. Anybody watch the news this morning after I finished yelling? Oh, well, we have some Trump stuff. Oh, wait. Is Trump bad? It's worse? Let me see. Now, let's keep in mind, every president gets worse because that's how the system's designed. However, there's nothing new under the sun. There's absolutely nothing new that man's doing that your group wasn't doing too. All right. Trump is worse than Bush, but after effects haven't hit you yet. Just wait. Yeah, right. Well, I agree with that, Sheepless. No, we agree. We agree. Oh, every president has to get worse because the Rothschilds and Rockefellers got to make more money. They got to rape more people. They got to, and then they do that through corporations in the system, right? Like what's it? Don't tell G. Don't tell G what? The hell is that? What do you mean don't tell G? What I miss? Tell me something. Tell me if I'm lying. I heard the field of lettuce, so okay, wait. What I miss? What am I supposed to not know? Y'all know something? Is Trump did something the Democrats didn't do? Trump did something the Republicans didn't do? What I miss? But the way that goes, Sheepless, right? It takes a couple decades to actually realize the devastation that actually happens under these administrations. That's why we need to stop playing. We don't need to wait to find out what's happening quietly behind the doors in the current administration. I guarantee it's the same devastation, rape, slavery, destruction for billionaires that happened under Obama, which is the same thing under Bush, which is the same thing under Clinton. Well, I don't know. Clinton, that was a bastard, boy. Oh my goodness, did he slip some Mickeys. The biggest Mickey he slipped was called the Welfare Reform Act. You know, and the funny thing is I upped the challenge. I upped the ante. You don't have to tell me anything that Trump did that the other party isn't doing in this whole everybody all the time and all the laws. All you got to do is tell me what Trump did that is not in the welfare reform, that is not a side effect of the Welfare Reform Act of 1994. Just tell me. Tell me something he did. Caging children, rape, child abuse, abuse of women. Tell me one thing that's not a side effect of that crazy law that Clinton wrote. None of it. All right. So many gurus, so F's to give. Well, that's what happens, Patricia, right? Because you don't give an F anymore. You don't give a fudge when you really start to see how this world works. You're not outraged anymore. You're just why don't we just fix it? I get it now. I get it. Banks run things. Everybody wants what the banks have. The banks print the money. So the politicians want the money. The people want the money. And so everybody's in conflict with each other. But we live in a world literally where nobody has to be in conflict anymore. We can free the whole world on the minerals and the resources and the electronics and that we stole from every other nation. We can do that. We can take America back from the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers, utilize all of its resources to just feed everybody. Fix the world. Satan meant it for evil, but we could mean it for good. Because maybe that's what God meant it for. That's my point, and that's my perspective. Taking up the Mickeys, shaking my head. It's a theme, Brenda. It is. And this is what we do. We believe the Mickeys and we just keep drinking the whole Democratic debate, which I did not watch 2 seconds of it. I'll watch commentary. I'll watch truthful commentary on it, but I'm not gonna watch it. I was trying to watch it, y'all. I wanted to watch the Democrats lie so bad, but I'm getting too old for this. I watch Ty do a breakdown. I watch Deb do a breakdown. I watch somebody else who I know is prone to telling truthful things that has the facts and the links to back it up to tell me all the things that lie. And so they were lying the whole thing. So I ain't gonna watch it. I'm not gonna watch it. I have lettuce to grow. I have more important things than to keep drinking the Mickey. You know? And I appreciate the people who gave me the Kool-Aid, who woke me up. There was something interesting I saw. They're talking about trade wars. Oh, this could be interesting. No. Here we go. Here's we need to let's Venezuela. Let's take a peek at Venezuela.
CarMax will buy you.
That's another one. That's a huge Mickey they done slipped down. They raped the entire country. That's the only place in the world where the word femicide even exists. They raped the whole damn country of Venezuela. No, it was Venezuela. Yeah, Venezuela and Honduras. But you know what? I suspect. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. But if who we want to invade, I think the litmus test for like knowing what the free nations are is to actually just look at who America wants to invade. Every time that topic comes up, to invade someone, destroy someone, or someone, there's an outbreak of terrorism or something, I don't think it's just about oil. These happen to be the nations that actually stand for what America was founded on, democracy and freedom. And if you actually are a nation that gets away with figuring out how to get out of Rothschild banking, then America has to blow you up. Every nation that actually does what the American people want, they have to be destroyed by the American government. I think that's a litmus test. All right, check this out real quick.
Reported an assassination attempt on the country's elected leader, Nicolas Maduro. Communications Minister Jorge Rodriguez says it was an attempt by the U.S. to undermine the government and impose a coup and install their hand-picked man, opposition leader Juan Guaido. Now, Guaido claims of the coup attempt is unfounded. So joining us to break it all down, we have lawyer and founder of Popular Resistance, Kevin Cease. Thank you for being with us, Kevin.
Happy to be here, thanks.
So what do you make of the Maduro-led government saying that this was part of the opposition leader's plan that's obviously backed by the U.S.? How credible do you think those claims are?
Oh, completely. I mean, the United States is throwing everything it has in its regime change book at Venezuela. It's been doing it for a long time under President Trump. This selection of Juan Guaido, who's a joke in Venezuela, not taken seriously by anyone politically, but he's, popular in the United States.
Yes.
And they've tried assassinations, they've tried many coup attempts with Guaido, all have failed. This latest one, they will put a military coup and then have an election for Guaido, supposedly was the plan.
That failed.
Failed again. I mean, it's interesting that Venezuela is so on top of it. They obviously studied the regime change book of the United States because we've done a lot. We've had a lot of experience, and so they have a lot. And Elliot Abrams, who has a history, John Bolton has a history.
Yes,
just
these guys are all back.
Study their careers.
Strange?
Study their careers. You know what the United States is going to do? It's an ongoing coup effort.
I know you've covered this stuff for a long time. You've been on our air and discussed this stuff. Years past we were just talking about Tom Hartman.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys, Elliot Abrams, as you brought up, Bolton, these guys have all been part of the failed attempts over in Iraq, and as we've seen, these characters are all back.
And they're so poor at their judgment. They have so misjudged the people of Venezuela. They told President Trump, easy, low-hanging fruit, will get their oil and gas. It's not happening. The people of Venezuela, the government, military is not switching sides. They're supporting the Constitution. I was in Venezuela last May for the election. There was an election. He was democratically elected. There are more than 150 election observers internationally from around the world, and they unanimously agreed this met international standards. It was a legitimate election. And so the United States is way off base, and Trump has been pulled into an embarrassing situation.
Which is funny to me, right? Because we can go to Venezuela and help them run our elections so we actually have a democracy. How many U.S. politicians say that we actually don't have democratic elections anymore? How many U.S. politicians say we don't have a democracy anymore? This is what I'm saying, slipping Mickeys, and this is what the CIA does. They are like Mickey extraordinaires. What does the CIA even stand for? Cosby is authority. Cosby is, what does the A stand for? Because they're fascinated with Bill Cosby. All they do is slip Mickeys all over the world so they can destroy things. But this is the thing. Any nation that has an outbreak of democracy, any nation that actually frees itself from enslavement like Iran or Venezuela, or these Latin American countries that revolt and stand up and do these things that John Sean and some of the rest of them talk about doing, Jason and the rest of my friends, any nation that actually stands up for themselves, for the American principles of letting people decide their government, we destroy them. We slip them a Mickey, and then we slip in our Pentagon.
By Bolton and Abrams.
So Abrams, at a press briefing on Tuesday, he's obviously the special envoy to Venezuela. He said that the idea of Maduro overseeing free elections was laughable. Let's listen.
The regime is methodically working to destroy Venezuela's democratically elected parliament. So we ask the nations of the Lima Group.
Hang on, stop. Hang on. So before I want to listen to what Elliot Abrams is going to say. I do. No, actually, I don't. I'm just looking at it. Let me see if I can get to stop it where he's looking up. Tell me for a minute. Tell me for a minute. We're in a bar, like we're having fun. We're all like in there talking. I can't get him looking up. Maybe he doesn't want to look. Does the devil look up? Hold on. Wait, no, he didn't open his eyes. What the hell? Anyway, look at his face. Just tell me for a second, if you were sitting in a bar, and you like, with your girlfriends listening to the music, y'all having drinks and whatever, and your girlfriends get up and go dance or whatever, and all you got left is Elliot Abrams, and he like hanging out, y'all sitting there. Would you like go to the bathroom and leave your drink there? Like, look at his face. Look at his face. Tell me that man ain't got a Mickey to slip. All right, outside the fact that he's always lying, I listen to what he got to say, but trust your intuition. Ain't no way in hell I'm getting him leaving my drink. That man got a Mickey to slip. And he got caught slipping Mickeys before.
Be working to destroy Venezuela's democratically elected parliament. So we ask the nations of the Lima Group, the International Contact Group, the members of the European Union, and indeed all democracies to stand behind the National Assembly and denounce the regime's systematic persecution.
I'm sorry, I just read what Ty wrote. Oh yeah, I think that's the CIA. I think you got him right there. I think that's exactly what they do. They instigate somebody in the country, somebody who's selling out like a Guaido, who's willing to get thousands, if not tens of thousands, people killed, murdered, raped, and blown up. Oh, Ty, they coming for you.
One of the reasons why the notion that Maduro might remain president to preside over free elections and a transition to democracy is laughable.
All right, he says that's laughable. You're laughing at Abrams.
Well, he's a convicted liar. He's been actually convicted of lying to Congress. I mean, so now he's lying to the public.
Yes,
almost everything in that statement was false. Venezuela is in many ways a more effective democracy than the United States. I was amazed when I was in Venezuela watching that election. They do things we don't do. They keep their lines short because there's a right to vote in the Constitution, unlike us. And so if you have a right to vote, then the government has to make it easy for you to vote. And so if there's long lines, they get more machines.
It's the opposite here.
Exactly. And they do something amazing no other country does. They have both an electronic and a paper ballot. The paper ballot, at the end of the day, every precinct, 54% of the machines are randomly verified. They pick up the paper ballots, show them to the audience, TV, opposition parties.
Out in the open.
Out in the open, a citizen's audit.
Oh,
and
okay.
they compared the paper ballot to electronic vote. If they're accurate, fine. If not, they check all the machines by paper. Every precinct, 54 U.S. fights audits.
Yes.
They do audits. So Venezuela runs actually a real democracy, and that's a long story. It's more longer time than we have.
Yeah.
But the democracy in Venezuela is grassroots.
Yeah, which is funny that the U.S. government always says the turnout is a sham, and you witnessed it for yourself, and because they've expedited how you can vote.
What's interesting about the turnout there was actually a boycott because the U.S. pushed for a boycott. They knew they couldn't win an election. So the U.S. wanted to delegitimize the election by having a boycott. They still almost the same percentage we had, but Maduro got a higher percentage of registered voters, not the ones that turned out, than Obama or Trump got in either election.
Now, speaking of last year, you recall...
Hashtag election integrity, people who actually understand. This is why I think the majority of Americans who don't vote, I think they're a hell of a lot smarter than I am. They've been a hell of a lot smarter than me my whole life.
The previous assassination attack from the drones, where he was giving the speech to the National Guard there, this was obviously backed by Guaido. I think we look back now, we know. Do you think all these various attempts, do you think they're connected?
Oh, no question. Guaido was interviewed the other day by BBC, and he talked about, well, we could have a military regime change that leads to democracy. And that's what this coup was, actually. They were going to put a military in, and that was going to lead to an election. So he knew it was coming. A couple days ago, he mentioned this on BBC. And so this is U.S., Israel, Colombia, and the oligarchs in Venezuela playing in these coups.
Yeah.
All the Rothschild's friends. That's what I'm saying. When you really start to see how the world works, you don't get outraged by none of it. You actually understand, okay, it makes sense. U.S., Israel, Britain, Rothschild Bank, Central Bank, and the oligarchs in Venezuela who were enslaving the people the same way they do in America right now, that elite, they all work with the same groups. And it actually makes perfectly good sense. And there's no reason to be outraged. But we got to grow up to a point where we stop Drinking the Mickeys. Because that's all they're doing is slipping a Mickey. So they can slip in their military.
Well, U.S. coups never work. They cause so much damage. I mean, like you know, the most famous is Iran. Yes. 1953, the elected prime minister of Iran, Mossadegh, is removed by a U.S. and U.K. coup, replaced by the Shah of Iran.
That backfired.
That led to the coup, led to the 1979 revolution, which we're still living with today, and the extreme, Arab extremism, all the Middle East on fire, because if we allow that elected prime minister to be a Democratic prime minister, it would have set example for the whole area. You'd have a whole different world. But the U.S., because of its desire to dominate, and that's what this is about. Venezuela is wealthy, not just #1 in gold, #1 in diamonds, #1 in gold, #1 in oil, #5 in gas, vast quantities of minerals for electronics and weapons. And weapons, they need the minerals. So the U.S. wants control, and the puppet Guaido is failing.
All right, we've got to leave it right there. As always, appreciate you chiming in with your expertise.
Because we need to topple a nation because we want to rob and loot them in a time where we got the resources to fix the world. And the time where we got the resources to make everybody bonobos and stop making mentally ill people to get otherwise intelligent people emotional about thinking that there's ever anything different under any United States president. The only thing that happens is it just slowly gets worse. And the more you vote, the more you do the things that Harriet Tubman was smacking you in your head for. Remember, she was the nut of the day. She was the nut of the time. She was a nut. Most slaves did not like her. They got in trouble because of her. That's why I'm trying to get y'all in trouble. That's why Ty and the rest of these people trying to get y'all in trouble. Y'all, we are literally slaves, but Tubman can't free slaves that don't know they're slaves. The people who keep voting for this damn plantation. All right, I'm gonna do comments and I'm gonna get out of here. All right? Bottom line. Stop slipping people Mickeys. Stop acting like Bill Cosby, cheering people who are chastising Bill Cosby, because we are the Bill Cosby. From a model perspective, we are the ones who are slipping Mickeys to our people and others all over the world, so we can slip in a Rothschild bank and rob what they got. And then the millions, if not tens of millions, who women get raped in the process. Bill Cosby didn't do anything that the Democrats lying in this last debate want to do. They are Bill Cosby. They got a jello pudding pop for you. And it's not funny. It's ridiculous. I laugh because it's not funny. It's ridiculous. All right. Beaufont has something to say. Well, brother, go on, say it. Let me see. Oh, Deborah got something to say. Or no, who's that? Deborah? Buy organic, wash it well, and grow your own. Lettuce is easy to grow. Deborah, and tell them about it. Deborah, tell them. Lettuce is like 30 days, y'all. 30 freaking days to harvest. And you don't have to wait 30 days. 30 days if you're stupid. 30 days if you want to harvest the whole thing. If you just want to pick leaves and make your own smoothies and salads, man can live on smoothie alone, people. You get a smoothie, you'll be the healthiest person in your family on the block. Just drink your smoothies all. But it's so easy to feed people. We just choose not to. And that's just one crop. No, okra is not a crop. No, Opofont, no. Okra is not a crop you can feed the world on. That's how you make the world vomit, and you give everybody all kind of problems with dehydration because they got the diarrhea and vomit coming out of the other end. No, not okra. Not okra. I will be part of no project to automate the growth of okra. That will not happen. I'm sorry. We can automate tomatoes, cucumbers, vegetables, lettuce, everything that's sent around the world, feed everybody, open source, give them the software, give them the robots, grow all the food, stop sending weapons to blow them up. And we can do that, but not okra. That's not. All right, hold on. Wait, there's something else. There was something else. Here we go. No, ooh, is that Fox News? Wait, no. I think there's something.
Save up to 30% off living, dining, and bedrooms. Shop now at Raymore and Flanagan.
No, don't buy from Raymore and Flanagan. What is that? I don't want to show it, but why do they have multiple commercials now on YouTube? What is that even about?
It is being allowed to have a vote in the Council of Europe's Parliamentary Assembly. Why is that a big deal? Well, because Russia was kicked out in 2014. after the coup in Kiev and the Crimea referendum that allowed it to become a part of Russia once again. I know, controversial. By the way, this may be a money issue as well. You know that American revolutionary cry we all remember hearing when we were kids, no taxation without representation? Well, in 2017, Russia stopped all of its payments to the Council of Europe since, after all, they weren't being represented, they said, so we're not going to pay. Well, now that Russia is back in, Russia will again start paying its share, which comes out to about $35 million a year, all things considered. Joining us now is Naval Intelligence Officer John Jordan to take us through why. I would love to know from you, John, is this a narrow opening in relation with the European elites for Russia? Is it important, or is it not?
It very well could be that opening. There are 47 members of the Council on Europe, more than the EU, which has 28 members, and 47 foreign ministers of the Council on Europe signed off on the readmission of Russia to the Council of Europe's pace, restoring Russia's full voting rights. This is important, but the fact of the matter is that Russia should never have been kicked out in the first place. The whole point of having international bodies is so that members can work out their disputes and have a forum for doing so. In the UN General Assembly, for instance, you don't have, when two countries are warring, which happens pretty much all the time to some extent, we don't kick out one. The UN Security Council doesn't kick out or deny one member their voting rights because of a dispute with others and take sides. And the Ukrainian crisis is far more complicated.
Well, but that's what I was going to say. What do you say to those members? And I was reading all about them today. A lot of them are French who are saying, you know what? Why are we letting these monsters back in, especially considering what happened in Crimea and what happened in Ukraine? We should not have voted them back in. That's what they're saying. How do you defend that position against them?
Well, it's easy to defend. The difference between Russia and Ukraine in this respect, in one way, is that Ukraine has great PR representation in Europe and the Western media, and Russia really doesn't. The story is really complicated between Russia and Ukraine. You know, there are parts of Ukraine which are overwhelmingly ethnically Russian. The Ukrainians and Russians have a very complicated history, and that in World War II, for instance, Ukrainians in large numbers fought on the German side. In fact, when Hitler invaded the Ukrainians largely welcomed the Germans. There's a hugely complicated story here, and these people are mixed and mingled, and there's a lot of ethnic Russians there, and the Ukrainians are telling their story and in many ways playing the victim, and Russia just hasn't been as successful in the PR battle here, and that's really the difference.
Yeah, and I think you said very eloquently that countries have conflicts all the time. And just because a country has a conflict doesn't mean you necessarily have to throw them out. If that were the case, the United Nations would have been dissolved decades ago, right? Let me ask you something else, John. I'm curious about this strident antagonism between the elite the elite European establishments, you know, NATO, EU, all that stuff, and Russia. Do you see it as possibly dissipating with the strangeness that's going on in the world right now geopolitically?
I hope so. I think we're starting to see realignments in the world. We're in the beginning stages of that. NATO is really nothing more than a vestige of the Cold War that kind of exists now more than anything else to serve itself. I mean, the Russians don't have, the Soviet Red Army isn't there in Europe with millions of troops ready to roll all the way to the English Channel. That's not really the case. But NATO, for whatever reason, still claims to have this reason to exist and to push eastward. That's never been fully explained to me in the Western media, other than the Russians are a threat to Europe, which they're not, because the Germans and the Russians right now are building an enormous pipeline project together, over the opposition of the United States. So I don't understand why NATO continues to spend.
Pardon me for interrupting, but it is curious, isn't it? It's so curious that NATO would choose, for example, Estonia, and that's not to criticize Estonia. I'm sure they're wonderful people and a wonderful country, but you're literally choosing Estonia over Russia. Why would you? That would be like, I don't know, choosing Bermuda over the United States. Why would you do that?
It's a holdover from the Cold War. Now, as an American, and as an American conservative Republican, I don't understand why taxpayer dollars are funding this, and why we are at risk of our Article 5 commitments to potentially get involved in a dispute in that part of the world where no vital American interests are at stake. And that's what Americans really should be asking themselves. Why are we paying for this?
That's a fascinating question, and I'm glad you asked it. John Jordan, as usual.
It's a fascinating question, and it only makes sense if you have no idea what central banking is. It's a fascinating question, and it only makes sense if you know that nations don't exist anymore. You're just big corporations with interest in nations that keep everybody in conflict, and that's the whole point of it. There is nothing to be in conflict over other than conflict itself. The human race has absolutely nothing to debate. Nothing. Be a Democrat, Republican, or anything. We have no debates. We have nothing to vote over anybody else over other than ending human conflict. It no longer has a reason to exist, and we're all being lied to, and we're all being played all the damn time. Russians are not coming. Russia, they're not coming. They literally are not coming. Until the Rothschilds tell them to come, then they're going to come. That's just how the world works. It's ugly, but it's true. All right, I'm going to do comments. I'm going to go. We are only at war with those who resist the Fed's petrodollar. Exactly, Ty. That's what I think. I think it's a great litmus test. I think we actually look at how the world actually works. We only go to war when someone else can make profit, and it's not America. It's not nobody in America. The children are starving, the children are hungry, people living in cars, tent cities all over California. People are poor and they need help, and their government's sending money all over the world. That is the #1 litmus test for what? Not only who is actually free, but the fact that you have no say in your government. Ugly, but it's true. All right, John. Would John cause drama? He said he's leaving. He was causing drama again. That's what he does. We got to antagonise. But this is why part of why I say it is even in comment sections, people. There's no reason to conflict. There's no reason to conflict. End the conflict. Period. There is nothing important we have to do than to stop the starvation of each other. That's it. Good on you, Venezuela. Absolutely, it's good for Venezuela. They got their freedom. I hope they got freedom-ish, and I hope they keep it. Freedom-ish from a global empire. Because the thing is, and this is why I'm not on the whole violence thing, is where John and I disagree, and the rest of these brothers is they want you to stand up. They want you to do a revolution. That's what they want. So they can bring their other countries in, Russia or UK or whoever they want, to just blow the whole thing. Like, you think the Rothschilds are going to walk away from owning America without a fight? Of course they're going to fight. And the majority of people are going to fight for them. So, peace is what we need. Peace. We literally have millions of children in prison right now that should not be. We got millions of adults in prison and got them ankle bracelets enslaved to lies that none of them should be. And we could free them all tomorrow. If we stood down today, we could free them all tomorrow. We could end all the wars, we could bring all the troops home, and we could restore the earth back to a place of abundance and just leave everybody alone. Like, we don't have to do the automation for the farming and building houses and everything right away. We can just stop the conflict now. Stop fighting with other people. You have no reason to fight with anybody else. Sheepless said, you like to write on somebody's face? Oh, you like to write on somebody? The demon. What's his name? Abrams, right on his face with a marker. He looked like a demon, didn't he? Watch RT a lot. Yes, Ish. Watch RT, people. If you live in America, if you live in a Rothschild country, you should watch RT. If you live in Russia, don't ever watch RT. It's designed to lie to Russians. If you're not Russian, then that's what you should watch. Boycott everything except hemp toilet paper. Exactly, Sheeps. Boycott everything except something that's made local. Boycott anything that comes from in over 50 miles. You shouldn't be buying it. Unless you can't get it from within 50 miles, then you have to. But if we go back to like, that's why I don't think people get the power of purchase local. How we develop sustainable communities if we actually purchase and buy, sell and buy just from each other. We become extremely powerful. But when we keep letting billionaires rob and destroy and rape other nations, slipping Mickeys into our intellect, we're not going to get anywhere. That's how we got to where we are. That's why I don't believe in violence. We literally, in the mirror, can solve all the world's problems. Russia gets to play jacks again. Yippee! But Russia is going to be the new leader of the free world. And you can see it coming. You can see they're cheering Russia. They're cheering Putin. Why? Because he's got Rothschild banks and Russian oligarchs, and soon they'll be the leaders of the free world when America's currency collapses and they go back to poverty. The rupee will come and save the world, and the whole world will cheer Russia, and America will be the Russians. We will be the Germans. We'll be the Nazis at that point. The American flag will be hated. We'll be the commie bastards. And people don't see it. Like, it's such a simple play. It's such a simple play if you know how the world, no one knows how the world works. If you start to see that money drives the world, central banking and these massive corporations, not politicians and debates between poor people about what they want to take from each other and how they want to force each other on how to live. Putin will be the adult at the EC that's scary for the children there. It is ish because Putin is not a good man. Putin is a thug. He is not a good man. But he damn sure is an angel compared to what's running America. But he's just a different department of this Rothschild central banking. All right, let's do comments. I'm gonna go. What the hell is all the Jesus stuff? Seriously, everything has went down, has zero to do with Jesus. Well, Meg, so when it comes to the whole, I don't know what the Jesus stuff, are you talking about me? Well, when I talk about religion and Christ, like, first of all, Christ was a real person. And when I say Christ, people get confused and they think I'm talking Christianity. There is no connection. There's literally no connection between someone who says they're Christian and Christ. I always go back to wise people. I go back to Martin Luther King. I go back to Christ. I go back to JFK. I'll go back to, well, I like to go back to Gandhi when Harsh isn't here. If Harsh is here, he's gonna like lash me on it because I keep forgetting the other guy's name who was more powerful than Gandhi. I go back to people who always taught peace, right? The truth is everything, and the source doesn't matter. Right? Don't let people who say they're Christian own Christ. Christ said, love everybody, care for everybody, act like a bonobo. That's what Christ taught, nothing else. It's the modern people who've added to it, right? King Jameses and the popes and the people who are lying, they add a bunch of stuff in. So for me, I look at the truth no matter the source. That's what I'm saying. That's why I always go back to it because, well, one, it was how I was raised. And two, a lot of people are confused. And it's not a ploy to get you into Christianity, not a ploy to get you to believe in Christ or anything like that. It's a simple statement of what's true is true. You gotta feed people before you tell them anything. Don't slip Mickeys in their drinks. Act like a bonobo. Love everybody. If you got a shirt on your back and you got other shirts at home and they need your shirt, give it to them. Those are the things that Christ taught. But you won't see that from modern Christians because Satan, unfortunately, runs a lot more than what we think. All right, let me see. Good morning, Patricia. Let me see. They're coming for us all. I think last roommate, I was interviewed by Blackwater. Oh, God. Yeah, Blackwater, that's a thing. That's another Mickey slipping organization. That actually is that's the actual invasion. That's the penetration, the damn Blackwater. DHS. Dumb A hacks spewing. Yeah, they are hacks. They're hacks. And when people turn on their people and start cheering these federal purchased government, we got a problem. And they think they're patriots. That's not how this works. But the good thing is they're people. And people have limits. It's just they need the information to understand who they're actually working for. Let me see what else we got. What else we got here? Can you send someone an okra bouquet, bouffant? Only if you hate them. Only if you hate them would you slip okra and some beautiful flowers. Guayo was selected a long time ago and groomed for his position. He exactly was, Ivan. And that's what I'm saying. Truthful things. Truthful statements like that. You know, he is no rise of grassroots freedom. They rose with grassroots freedom under Chavez and they took their country back. And of course, the billionaires didn't like that and they want to take it back. And so they come up with these fake guys, these sellouts locally. They slip everybody Mickeys, and if your president say it, people believe it, and they proceed to invade. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby modeled. Outrage is one thing, sick as hell of it is another. I agree, Ron. I'm sick as hell of it, but I'm not outraged. Like, I get it, and I can see it, and I understand it manufactured consent, right? Like, we're consenting to all of this. You know, everybody's believing the debates, and I see all the posts about who they're going to vote for. And so everybody's believing, everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid. And a lot of people know that the Kool-Aid has a Mickey in it, and they're still drinking it. You know, so I'm not outraged. I'm like, we literally are voting for this. We are Bill Cosby, and we're planning and sharing with people how to do these things. All right, I gotta get going. All right. Peace out, carry. Workers on site. Weird how we only cared about Cosby until he tried to buy CBS. Exactly. Sure, there's no coincidence time. As soon as he decided to make a voice, as soon as he decided to make a difference and get a big media voice, they came after him. Killed his son, magically he didn't want it anymore. Interesting how that works. You have a great day too, Sandy. Everybody get shopping now, bags. Isn't that what Bush said right after 9/11? Everybody go out shopping. Go out buy from the billionaires. Okay, Ty said that's what the debate's about. Russia, 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 Orange Man bad. That's the only debate. And they did everything the Orange Man did. And they wrote all the legislation he utilized. Booming charade. Yep, it's all a charade, Christine. Always has been, always will be, until we stand up and just decide to fix the world. Why did Russia get back into it, Megs? Because Russia, people like Russia, people like Putin. He's being cheered. He's going to be the new savior until he kills everybody. All right, let me get down. I gotta get going. So many vegetables and fruit stands right now. Can that stuff up? I'm not sure what you're saying. So many vegetables and fruit stands, but that's a good thing. People need to be able to feed themselves. Strong people get to decide for themselves. Independent people who don't need infrastructure and grocery stores. The people who need grocery stores and government, unfortunately, they will get what they deserve. And we need to stop deserving that. We need to stop having leaders and followers and just be free people. Voting, I love video games. But that's what it is. It's a video game. We need to stop believing it. Anyway, the content of Gerard's video is always relevant. Guys, the most personable on Facebook. I've seen it. Thank you, John. It's only because of these people. That's it. It's only because of these people. It's because these people here, and I found a family of people who actually want to talk about truthful things. You don't want to lie against each other and steal what they got and think we're right over everybody else. We just want to sit back, know the truth, and free the world. We rob the whole world of resources, and we can feed the entire planet. We can fix everything. We can restore the whole. Somebody meant it for evil, but we can mean it for good. We can do that any day we want. I need to get going. Gotta get going. Gotta get going. All right. Have a wonderful day. Look up the bonobos and the chimps. Understand we actually are the same creature, and under abundance, we become peaceful, amazing creatures. But kept in artificial scarcity, we become monstrous chimps. We got to stop being monstrous chimps and stop voting for the plantation systems and enslavement that made us that. There's nothing new under the sun. Donald Trump didn't do anything that they haven't already done. There's no reason to impeach them, but there is a reason for us to impeach our process, slipping Mickeys to the world, go destroy things, and being Bill Cosby. All right, Gerard, gotta go. Have a great day. All right, bye-bye.